Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. We are finally getting to our Sundance short. It's called Counterfeit Kunkoo, which, those who don't know, Kunkoo is the powder, the red powder that Indian women put on their foreheads for marriage, right?
Yes, yes.
So it's a sign of marriage.
Yes.
So why counterfeit?
Because our film talks about signs of marriage that have sort of lost all meaning. So they just function as simulacrum right now. We're just kind of going through the motions because we've been so used to it as a society, right? So it just stands for fake signs of marriage, actually.
Interesting. Well, let's explain why. Give us a storyline.
So Counterfeit Kunkoo is a 15-minute short film. It's about a woman trying to find a house to rent in Mumbai as a woman without a husband. And it talks about housing discrimination, marital rape, and the need for sexual liberation.
So interesting. And so you are the director, the editor, the writer. We have a cinematographer here as well, Reema and Harshvir.
Yes.
How are you guys?
So
I feel like I didn't even ask. You just got right into it.
No, amazing. It's been a life-changing experience here at Sundance.
Has it?
Yeah, because the short film is such a small, super indie little short film that we shot in some claustrophobic lanes of Mumbai, and it's so amazing to have it premiere, have its world premiere at Sundance. Yeah.
So why this story?
Okay, this comes from a really, really personal space, actually. I grew up in a house as an only child where my parents didn't have the best marriage, but for some reason my mom never decided to leave, I guess it's to do with the culture that we live in. And after 24 years of marriage, suddenly one day my dad told my mom that at the end of this week you're on your own, we're done.
By the end of the week.
By the end of the week.
No surprise.
Yeah.
No prep either.
I know. And I wasn't even there. I was studying in London, and my mom is a very strong, independent, financially self-sufficient woman. So she had everything she needed to get a house and a lot of and a great reputation in the community. But despite all of that, every time she would go to an estate agent to get a house, they would just be like, okay, but where's your husband?
No.
And if the estate agent didn't have a problem, the landlord would. If the landlord didn't have a problem, the society, like the building society, the neighbors, they would have a problem. And it was just so frustrating. And I remember being really far away, feeling so angry and so helpless and almost, and so guilty as well, because my mom chose to educate me over buying her own house. So I didn't know what to do with all those feelings and emotions. And I guess I did what I always do, which is write a film and make it. Yeah.
So it comes from a very personal space.
Yes.
Let's talk about the filming process. As a cinematographer, Harshvir, what is your role?
Me and Reema, we collaborate a lot. Like, we've been doing a lot of commercials and music videos, and we came to a point where we were sort of saturated by it. So we were like, we got to do something that's personal, that's more real, where our craft comes out better than, we are restricted with sort of the commercial space. So we approached this film very differently, actually, because we were sort of exploring the relationship between the character and the spaces that she inhabits. And there's a power dynamic going on there, because she is always smaller than her house. I mean, metaphorically.
Right.
Because there's her in this place where she's going through a lot of prejudices, and she doesn't have a husband, which actually acts as a character certificate, as we mentioned before. So we couldn't place her like in the middle of the frame. That's what we thought. We have to sort of let this power dynamic play out on screen.
You have to show it.
We have to show it. Yes, yeah, exactly. So we placed her at the edges because, well, she was literally cornered by the society into being into the place that she was. So that reflects in the visual aesthetic of the film.
Yeah, and once you see it, you see there's a visual journey and a particular visual language that's going on. That was it was almost disconcerting because it wasn't what we are used to, right? We're used to doing our, 3 shots, 2 shots, OSs and things like that. But with this, in fact, we had to, during the shoot, consciously be very aware that, to not go back to more traditional ways of shooting, more comfortable ways of shooting when we were under pressure.
It's so interesting that you guys have to really translate this in a picture from writing and from your personal experience. Guys, we only have about 30 seconds left. I would love to ask, where can people go to watch the film?
So it's going to have an amazing festival journey. This was its world premiere. The European premiere is happening at Clermont-Ferrand in France. And after that, it's going to go all over the world. And then we're hoping to release it online, I think, next year.
Wow. So really, it's going to go wide. Sundance is just the first stop.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys, on being selected.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having us. Cheers.